Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good morning viewers. We are going to see about the upcoming Rahu Ketu transit, which is going to take place on April 12th, 2022, where Rahu moves from Taurus to Aries and Ketu moves from Scorpio to Libra. As you know, the Rahu Ketu moves in the anti-clockwise direction. Now we will be seeing for each and every zodiac sign the effect of Rahu Ketu transit for the next 1.5 years. So this transit takes place on April 12th and Rahu will stay there till October 2023. So this 1.5 years, Rahu will be placed in Aries and Ketu will be placed in Libra. So people might think they'll give lot of ill effects. Some people might think it will give good effects. But one has to understand that the Rahu Ketu transit, the Saturn transit or the yearly transit, all this will have effects up to 15 to 20%. Basically, the individual horoscope having the current Mahadasa and Antardasa will have the maximum effect, that is up to 80%. So one need not have to worry about all these transits. Also, some people might say that I am in Aries, so when Rahu comes to Aries, then it will give me a lot of problem. Some may think that okay, in Libra Ketu comes, so it will give me a lot of good things. Actually, one has to understand that each and every person will be there under a particular nakshatra, and in that nakshatra it will be a particular nakshatra path. So when you calculate about zodiac signs, the total number of nakshatras, it will have 3 nakshatras, and totally 9 nakshatra padas will be there in a particular zodiac sign. When you consider the total Rahu Ketu period, transit period of 18 months on a particular transit period, so if you divide that 18 months by 9 nakshatra padas, each nakshatra pada will have a duration of 2 months. So the ill effect or the good effect will have impact only up to 2 months, when actually the Rahu Ketu moves on to the particular nakshatra pada. So there is no need to worry about all these transit of Rahu Ketu and at the same time, when Rahu or Ketu is associated with the positive planets like Jupiter, Venus or rising moon, etc., then there won't be any much difficulties. But at the same time, if Rahu or Ketu is associated or aspected by evil planets like Saturn or Mars, then they may have some bad effects also. Depends upon the particular person's horoscope. If the person is having a very good Mahadasa and Antardasa running, he may not have much bad effects. But at the same time, if a person is not having a proper Mahadasa and Antardasa running, then they may have some ill effects also. We will be seeing for each and every zodiac sign there will be a separate video. If you are new to this channel, keep it subscribed so that you will get all my updates instantly. Now let us see on the day of the transit Rahu Ketu, what are all the planetary positions and the general predictions. On April 12th, 2022, around 1:48 p.m., you can see the Rahu transit takes place, where Rahu moves from Taurus to Aries. As per the Kalapurusha Tattva, it is the first house, and Ketu moves from Scorpio to Libra, which is the 7th house as per the Kalapurusha Tattva. When you see on the day 1, that the moment the Rahu Ketu transit takes place, Rahu moves to the first house, where the lord of the first house, Mars, is very strong at the 11th house of Rahu. So we can say there are a lot of good things can happen during this year. Rahu and Ketu will work in a way that it occupies the house and it will do the duties of the like a house owner of that particular zodiac sign. So it will take the responsibility of the house, of the lord of the house, and it will react to that way. And secondly, it will also give effects based on the nakshatra it is traveling. So you have to see both the things. That is, the first priority is given to the house and the second priority given to the nakshatra it works. Now in the first house, as you see, Mars is very strong. It is associated with the positive planets like Venus as well as Jupiter. As we generally say, the first impression is always a best impression. So during this particular Rahu Ketu period, it looks very much positive. So a lot of positive things can happen this year. There may be good land reforms may introduced, and there will be a lot of changes in the buying and selling of land. So we can expect a lot of improvements in buying and selling of land, and there will be good movement in the construction field. A lot of people may get good opportunities in the construction field. Also in medicinal field there will be good improvements. A lot of good medicines may come, and there will be a demand for the doctors, and some of the doctors may get good names and fame during this particular year. Also, as we have seen in this 2022 New Year, which is more predominantly for the women. So Ketu moves on the 7th house, and a lot of 7th house Venus is also associated in the 11th house. So which seems to be highly profitable. So we can expect a lot of good things happening for the women. So a lot of good women entrepreneurs may come up this year. A lot of good opportunities in the film industries for the youngsters, especially for the women artists. So we can see a lot of good actors coming out, being good singers, good painters, dancers. So a lot of good things can happen for the women, working women also. During the day, when the Rahu Ketu transit takes place, the star seems to be Maha, and the zodiac sign being Leo, and 9th house where Rahu stays when compared from the zodiac sign. So it will have some effects, ill effects for the traditional people who believe in spirituality. There may be some conflicts, there may be some tough time for them. So there are days where the temples may be closed, and they may not be allowed to worship, and they may not be allowed to practice certain rituals like that. So they may face certain problems on that particular area. But as you see, the land seems to be more strong this particular year. Lot of discoveries may happen during this year, so a lot of good things can take place, and there may be more discoveries, there may be more findings about our ancient history. So a lot of things we can expect during this year, as Mars is very strong when the Rahu Ketu transit takes place. Also Rahu indicates a technology, so we can expect a lot of improvements in the technology side also. A lot of good new things can come up during the next 1.5 years. There may be good improvements also, except certain cases where there will become conflict between the life partners as well as some business associates, as Ketu is there in the strong 7th house. Whenever it is not being aspected by a positive planet, there may be some problems. Other than that, this Rahu Ketu we can expect a lot of positivity. As you see during this initial time, Rahu is associated with Mercury, as Mercury is a standalone planet, seems to be highly positive. So Rahu turns out to be more positive in that day one itself, and in Moon seems to be at Leo, and Ketu is at Libra, and Saturn being a ruler at Capricorn, and in Aquarius there is a good conjunction of planets, Venus, Mars and Jupiter, and in 12th house Pisces where Sun is there. So this is a position of planet during the Rahu Ketu transit. Now we will be seeing for each and every zodiac sign a separate video, for which the effect of Rahu Ketu as a whole on the particular house as well as for individual nakshatra will be seeing separately. Virgo, the 6th zodiac sign as per the Kalapurusha Tattva. For Virgo, this Rahu Ketu transit, Rahu moves to the 8th house and Ketu moves from 3rd house to the 2nd house. So we can say the movement of Rahu seems to be better compared to Ketu. During the time of transit, the lot of Virgo Mercury getting associated with Rahu, and the Mercury is also responsible for the 10th house. So we can say there could be good job opportunities in the teaching side, especially in the IT field. Those who are jobless and looking for job opportunities for very long, there could be chances for getting good job opportunities, and they could get employment in a good company during this Rahu Ketu transit. Those who are already working in a company, there are chances to get good elevations and good increments during this Rahu Ketu transit. Some of them get a chance to learn new technologies, and they try to adapt latest technologies in their day-to-day routines. IT companies will get more projects in this particular period, and they will employ more candidates, especially freshers recruited through campus interviews, and majority of the recruited candidates would be from this zodiac sign Leo. During this Rahu Ketu transit, the 6th and 8th houses are conjuncted positively. So there could be good opportunities for people doing business. There are chances they may get good business during this period. They can expand their business growth from different segments and also from different countries also. Those doing business using social media like Facebook, Twitter and YouTube, there are good chances of getting popularized during this particular period. Some of them get revenue from other currencies, other country currencies. Import and export business will also give good results. Those working as a accountant like chartered accountant or cost accountant, and those who are teaching accountancy and mathematics can also find good opportunities during this particular period. As Ketu is associated in the second house, there will be problems in communication. Those who are working with communication as a base may find some problems during this period. At the same time, those who work in the spiritual teachings and preaching spiritual messages like Upanyasakas could find a good time also. So communication in spiritual field will be better compared to the business field during that Ketu's transit on second house. There could be some problems with the family members also, as Ketu is associated with the second house, which indicate family life. Even if they try to purchase any products for the family, they may not be able to buy it in time. Also, if they try to buy certain products, may lead to some problems. There could be frequent repairs in such products and they find lot of expenditures after purchasing any assets during this particular period. Those who are unmarried for very long, that this particular transit can definitely get good alliances and they could settle down in their life. Those looking for teaching job, there are good chances for them to join in schools and colleges as teachers during this particular period. At the same time, they should be careful while communicating with the students. There may be some troubles between the students and the teachers during this particular period, as they should avoid unnecessary or unwanted talks with the students. As Venus is responsible for the 2nd and 9th house, and Venus seems to be really positive during this transit period, so there are chances of getting good opportunities in film industries. Some of them may join in channels, TV channels and cine field in the areas of music, arts, dance and other activities. Those working in film industries already, like background artists, singers, producers and directors, could get good fortunes and opportunities during this transit. Children may not support their parents and may not study well. They would be lazy during this period and the parents should take care of their children. There could be some health related issues with the children also, and some who are looking for the childbirth may also find difficulties during this particular period. So for Virgo, Rahu could provide better results compared with Ketu. We can say there could be 80 to 95% positive results during this Rahu Ketu transit. Now let us see the nakshatras on Virgo. For Virgo, Uttara Palguni Pada 2, 3, 4, Hasta and Chitra Pada 1 and 2 forms the cluster of zodiac sign Virgo. First for Uttara Palguni Pada 2, 3 and 4, this is the star of Sun, and for this zodiac sign, Sun indicates expenses. Some of them may get government jobs and some may get good support from the government. When Rahu travels on the star of Kritika during that period, there could be expenses due to health reasons and its treatment as well as for the father's health related treatments. When Rahu travels on the star of Venus, it becomes positive expenses, especially for marriages and children education, buying properties, etc. When Rahu travels on the Ashwini star of Ketu, some of those unemployed could get employment opportunities, and those who are unmarried, chances of getting good alliances also. When Ketu travels on the star of Jupiter and Mars, those periods it will do good for them. During that particular time, they may be able to guide others and their hard work could yield them positive results. Those who are Upanyasakas and preach spiritual lessons to others, those who work as teachers, will all find good fortunes during that particular period. Young graduates could get teaching job opportunities, and those working as teachers could get increments and promotions during this particular time. So for this star, we can expect up to 80% positive results during this Rahu Ketu transit. Next comes Asta star, the star of moon. Moon is responsible for the 11th house for Virgo, and so they could expect more positive and profitable time. When Rahu travels on the star of Sun, which being the 12th house for Virgo, some may get opportunities to go to foreign countries for business or for a transfer from their office. Children might go to foreign countries for higher studies. Some of them could expand their business at foreign countries, and some of the import and export business could do well during this particular time. For this particular nakshatra, those working with communication as a base can get some positive results in the business. Also for those who are communicating others through social media, running their own channels, primarily in the areas of catering field and beauty tips related channels, there could be good gains during this particular period. When Ketu travels on the star of Jupiter and Mars, some of them may buy properties. Those doing business on medicine field, working as doctors and engineers can also get good business improvements. Those practicing as doctors and those who are selling medicines can find good business on this particular period. When Ketu travels on the star of Rahu, they find problems in the family life. There could be difference of opinion between the couples, husband and wife. They should handle the situation with calm and patience. When Rahu travels on Bharani star of Venus, some of them get chances for marriage, and some of them may marry a foreigner or get a foreign friendship also. For this star, we can expect up to 85% positive results. Next comes the Chitra star, the star of Mars, Pada 1 and 2. For Chitra star, during this initial period, as Rahu and Ketu transit, Rahu is associated with the house of Mars, and Mars is at the 11th house to Rahu. It looks very much powerful and positive for them. Mars at 6th house and Rahu at 8th house, there could be good chances for business to grow better. Some of them get good support from the foreign countries. Those working in social media could get good revenue from foreign countries. Some of them could borrow money or take loans from the banks and expand their business, which could be more positive. Some of them may buy or construct a new house by taking loan from the bank during this period. Venus owns the 2nd and 7th house for Aries, and when Rahu travels on the star of Venus, there could be positive expenses for them. Those who are unmarried, there are chances to get married, and some of them could buy their own houses. Some may get chance to join in film industries and get opportunities in acting. Those in this industry already can get chances for their upliftment, good future and luck during this time. While Ketu travels with the star of Mars, some may find heat related problems like cold and fever. They may get good support from the traditional medicines like Ayurveda, Siddha, which will support and heal their diseases. For this star of Chitra, Pada 1 and 2, we can expect up to 90% positive results in this Rahu Ketu transit.